Hi everyone, Stormthony Outside Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you are doing well. And it's time for a review of the new Bladee project, Exeter. This is a new collection of songs from Drain Gang artist, Sweden's very own, Bladee. Over the past several years, the Drain Gang has forged a very dreamy, synthetic, abstract, futuristic brand of cloud rap that has gained quite the cult following. And while I myself have been impressed by a select few Thaiboy digital tracks, as well as that new Echo 2K project, E, that I thought for the most part was very good, I can't really lay claim to any enjoyment of Bladee's work thus far. My review of his 2018 LP Red Light is pretty notorious for being one of my most negative reviews ever, and the mixtape he followed this project up with in that same year, to me felt like just more of the same. While there is a part of me that does appreciate the aesthetics of these projects and what they are shooting for, the songs are just way too anemic, and the vocals absolutely suck. To the point where there's no amount of auto-tune or touching up that one could do to make them sound good, make them make sense in these very synthetic, euphoric, and serene instrumentals. But those are my opinions of Bladee's older work. Maybe in the time since Red Light he has evolved quite a bit artistically, which led me to being curious about his new project over here. This relatively short collection of 9 tracks, which when I heard them, I ran into a lot of familiar issues as well as new and refreshing ideas. For one, the production on this is far more varied and intriguing than anything I think Bladee has featured on a record in the past, like the plinky delayed synths and shimmering chimes on Mirror, which sound like the start of a beautiful lullaby. Or it's more like the soundtrack to being transported to the crystal dimension. I also love the very woozy and skeletal beat on the track Wonderland, which features a lot of cute low-key tones matched with these rubbery, stretching sound effects that are pretty strange. They just squeak away through the mix and don't really line up with much harmonically here, but they are pretty stimulating. And on Every Moment Special, we get these psychedelic swirls of tones combined with these chilly, stuttering vocal samples that just sound like these little choruses calling away. Many sounds in the mix are soaked in this vast reverb. The whole thing is just very pristine, it's hypnotic, pretty surreal as well. Then we have the wondrous and gorgeous music box synths on the track Love Story, which comes off a bit Bjork-inspired to my ears, but the very minimal and malformed bass and drums underneath all of that gives it a very different vibe. So the production on this project generally I found to be a lot more textured, creative, and oddly enough complementary to Bladee's very weird, mediocre vocals. To take it back to the track Love Story, in a way the pretty but demented beat on this one complements the emotionally flat, understated, and auto-tuned vocals that Bladee brings to the table. I will say though that Echo 2K's very eerie falsetto does carry the track quite a bit. Either way, this is actually the first Bladee song I think I can say I enjoyed. The vocals on DNA Rain weren't all that bad either, but I feel like the only reason that's the case is they were digitized to the point where I feel like I'm listening to an AI try to get in touch with its emotions, which is a really odd feeling given it's happening over this very heavenly and euphoric beat. So I guess the appeal of the vocals on this one is they're so touched up that the room for human error is almost gone. There's a similar appeal to the track Rainbow Star 2 in that the production is just so pillowy, it kind of takes the edge off of Bladee's singing. But still, for the most part, as much as I am trying to see the silver lining in many songs on this project, the singing still kind of stinks. There are even moments on this thing where the repetitive lyrics and the very nasally vocals border on that of a Nav song. Wonderland is another moment where the vocal personality and skills of Echo 2K are very clearly a cut above, at least 1 or 2 or 3 cuts above that of Bladee. I mean, both have had the same amount of time since Red Light to evolve, and somehow Echo's vocals have managed to mature quite a bit. Meanwhile, I feel like Bladee Blade is mostly stuck in the same spot. Take the track Merry-Go-Round, for example. I can't really say anything about the singing on this one other than that it's painfully subpar. The warbly auto-tune on the track somehow makes it worse too. But as much as I would like to see the vocals improved on this thing, the songwriting could use some work as well. Not that it's terrible, but on some tracks it can come off a little one-dimensional, understructured. I suppose a lot of the tracks here are impressionistic in nature, like many songs off of Echo 2K's recent project, but I feel like in order to get away with that, the songs need to be coming together as a whole on your record in a significant way, or every sound or idea going into each track needs to be next level, and I feel like that's not truly the case for Exeter. While I did find some very admirable qualities about these tracks, they are quirky, they are alluring, they are very imaginative with their approach to production. After this, I think you could certainly call me Blade curious. I'm still kind of torn on this though, because I think there's so many aspects of it that could be vastly, vastly improved. I'm feeling a strong 5 on this one. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Blade, forever.